these days.
I think I'm coming by this weekend to pick them up. All right, it should be. We're live again. I don't know what you want on, like, this screen is nothing. You're just gonna
Go back. Go back.
Yeah. So the arrows will still control the slides.
Okay. All right.
But I can actually focus on you because everyone on Zoom is seeing your slide.
Yes.
I would nail that.
All right. So just a little bit about us. We've been friends for a few years now. Both married. I have 2 boys. Tiffany has 2 girls and 1 boy. Interesting fact: my youngest son and her middle daughter are less than 24 hours apart, and they are codependent. They require each other's presence at least once a day. Tiffany was born and raised in Fayette County, so she's lived in this area her whole life. Her in-laws are actually the owners of Smith & Davis, so she's got a lot of familiarity with small business growth and worked in the business for a while too. She's got a lot of prior experience in hospitality, and she's a fanatic. I'm originally from Northern Ohio. I've been here for almost 5 years now. I have my degree in business and marketing. My experience kind of runs the gamut. I've worked in real estate. I've worked in sales. I've worked in marketing. I've worked in web development, and I'm also a coffee snob. Funniest story, Tiffany came to me when we started doing the business plan and said, I have to take you to Helen. There's a coffee shop there. It's the best coffee I've ever had in my life. And I said, I will be the judge of that. Now we use their coffee.
Sorry. Go ahead now.
Okay. So how can 1 million cups help us? Really, it's just we're trying to spread the word about our business. We're still very small. The location that we're in currently that we're operating is tucked away into Summer Grove. We get a lot of traffic from residents in Summer Grove, from the other businesses there. And really, we've been doing a really good job at pushing our branding out on social media, but you're really only going to see that if that's what you're looking for. So anybody who can help spread the word to new markets that we haven't hit, new friends, family, share the love, invite a friend for a Percolate. We have some of our lovely customers have actually hashtagged that. They come in at least twice a week with a group of 3 women, and they always say hashtag Percolate. So bring someone in for a Percolate. So why we chose to go into the coffee business, just about everyone drinks coffee. If you don't, you probably have an alternative like tea, or maybe you're a fitness fanatic and you like a protein smoothie. We cater to everyone's interests. So we have, the scones and muffins and things like that might not be so great for your waistline, but are delicious. But we also have a very long list of healthy food options as well. We have vegan items, vegetarian items, all of that. Overall, coffee consumption continues to go up year after year, and most Americans drink coffee every day. Currently, we offer all types of coffee, hot, cold, frappuccinos, smoothies, and food items. And hopefully very soon, we will be opening up our space to host different events. We've hosted a few, and we're looking into getting a mobile Percolate truck to park at various events and hosting branded community events in our space on the days that we're not open. Our competition is not Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts, although we somewhat model ourselves off after Starbucks because of the list of products we offer to our customers. They're still not our competition. They're just in another ballpark. Our competition is currently Foxtail and Leaf and Bean, both in Noonan, both small businesses. However, with those 2, they're currently just a one-off. So we don't know if they also have intentions of expanding. Like our goal is to become larger and not just a one-off coffee shop.
Do you have franchise?
We're not a franchise at the moment, and I'm not sure that that's the route we want to go, but it's in the back of my mind.
Foxtail is a franchise.
Yes.
I went there yesterday for the first time.
They are. So
I don't think you have to.
they're small, but they're still,
Yeah.
still ultimately a franchise. So they don't have as much control over the product as in that regard. So there's two main names in coffee that everyone knows, Starbucks and Dunkin'. Aside from that, there's just a handful of single location independent coffee shops that may or may not have plans to expand. There's enough coffee drinkers in there that we can have both, and we kind of want to occupy the middle of that space. We don't want to be a large conglomerate, but we don't want to be a one-off. We have goals to expand, but stay still local in Georgia. Our goal is to be known as the independent coffee shop in the South Atlanta region. We are looking to have 10 locations within or near Coweta and Fayette counties within 10 years. It's a pretty lofty goal, but we are about to open our second location before we even hit year 2. And our main goal is to just continue to provide consistently delicious beverages with best-in-class customer service. Customer service is our biggest priority. These are all the ways that you can get in touch with us. So you can contact us, email, via our phone. All our social media is at Percolate Con't, or you can visit us at 21 Market Square Way. And starting March 8th, fingers crossed, as long as everything goes well with health department, we will be opening at 101 Crossings East in Peachtree City, just underneath Big Daddy's. And then where should we go?
Those are the 6.
Oh, you're great. I mean, we have
That's it.
exactly 20 minutes remaining, which is what we keep open for Q&A. As we started, as I told you to start your presentation by asking what we can do for you. So just, you want to reiterate that for us and just kind of tell us what it is that you'd like from us?
Yeah, just, anybody who wants to can follow us on Facebook and Instagram, share our posts, stop in, bring a friend, maybe somebody who is new to the area or lives in Noonan or Peachtree City or the surrounding areas even, and is just looking for a fun place to go. Our space in Noonan is a little over 1,200 square feet. We've got a little fireplace, a couch. I'm adding more seating as we speak. So we are getting ready to open that up to events. We did a bridal shower, things like that over the last several months, and we're starting to open that up as reservations. So I do have our business cards. I have little pins with our branding on it, and I have bumper stickers as well. So if you want to put one, if you're willing to put one on your car and drive it around so people can see, we're just really trying to push the branding so people start asking, like, what is this black and white pea that I see all over the place? That's what I want people to start asking that question. I've been walking the link trail almost daily in Noonan, just purposely, even if my cup is empty, with the pea. And every day I get at least 2 or 3 people that stop and say, what is that? Where did you get that? I'm like, actually,
By the way, I was gonna say
thank
that.
you.
It's perfect. I love
Thank
the
you.
name. I like what you're doing with that. Just the theme. It's awesome. I really like it.
I was driving and saw the bumper sticker on a car. I think I
You
took
sent me a
and
picture.
sent
You were
it to
like,
I was
look what I
like,
saw at
"Check it
Target. I'm like,
out." Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
I was
it was
actually
great.
in the shop and I might have done a happy dance. And somebody was like, what is wrong with you?
Oh,
Like,
it
this is
really
just what
exciting.
happens when
It is really exciting.
brand
to see
gets
your brand
noticed.
grow.
Yeah.
Now,
absolutely.
do you have anything on that key? Is there anything advertising it so someone saw it? Is there anything in small print with your website or anything?
I don't think I have anything.
That's a good suggestion though.
Yeah.
Maybe like along the
Yeah,
curve,
just
right
like
at
Mhm.
percolatecon't.com.
Just because if
We
someone wants
put
to
something
get
like that
it-
together, but haven't printed it for like a sticker or anything. So maybe.
No, this is a great idea. Just like a QR code, and people just have, because people are curious.
Yes.
I think one of the best marketing things years ago, and it said Google this,
Yeah.
and I thought that was brilliant.
Right.
Of course, I was so curious, what was it?
We
It was on
finally we just switched over our entire POS because we started with one and realized that it wasn't great for growth. So we were like, let's get ahead of this now. And they have all the QR codes that will take you directly to our online ordering menu, so you can order curbside. And I'm trying to focus on getting that printed on as many things as possible, whether it's like our business cards, flyers that we can hand out to other businesses. I can take them and drop them off at like all the real estate agencies, places that are going to host regular meetings that might want coffee and pastries and food delivered.
I just want to say about QR codes, like we should just talk about that, because if you print a QR code and then decide in a year from now to change POS systems again, that totally can screw you up. But we have the ability to create a QR code where you can go in and change the destination of where that QR code goes. So your QR code could last you forever, and you can have it do different things whenever you want. So just let's talk. I mean, it's easy, free, do it that way instead of locking yourself. Anyway.
Right.
My question was, you mentioned events. Is there a charge for that, or how do you kind of do that? My immediate mind goes, I'm a realtor, so I'm immediately going, people plans to do whatever I'm meeting, have a meeting where I'm a buyer's meeting or a seller's meeting or whatever the case may be. So is there a price for that, or how does something like that?
So if you're just coming to have a meeting with a client or something like that,
No,
and
so
it's
I'm thinking larger than that.
larger than that,
I'm
okay.
thinking right now, the request that I'm getting the most from entrepreneurs, how do I position myself to be able to be at home? How do I pull on myself together? So
Okay.
I'm planning something right now where it's not like an information session. So
Yes.
like your coffee shops, I'm gonna give you a perfect kind of
Absolutely.
environment for that.
We're
How
setting
would that
up
work?
all the packaging on that right now, so that
Okay.
you'll be able to at least reserve the space online
Okay.
for the date and the time, and then we would reach out to you to discuss all the specifics.
Okay.
So there is like a minimum, it would have to be, a 2-hour minimum.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. Everybody needs to order something.
Right.
something like
And
that.
so you can
Okay.
do it where everybody gets, unlimited coffee. It could be hot coffee and cold brew, or you could do
Okay.
like everybody gets one specialty drink,
Gotcha.
and then beyond that, it's charged per person.
I'd love to hear what you want to do,
Yeah.
literally to build out the offering itself.
Yes.
I mean,
No, seriously.
If we're
I mean,
talking along those lines, I'll contribute to that too. Like Saba is a perfect example. The South Atlanta Business Association has been searching for a perfect venue for a long time.
So-
Launch and Go satisfied that for a while, and now that's not an option. So we're looking for another space.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm saying this while we're sitting in this amazing space, but this is not affordable for the smaller
right,
types of
Right.
events, right?
Right.
Like, you're one
I mean,
person kind of
I
thing.
think what this area needs terribly is a meeting space. That's not necessarily your whole model,
Right.
right? And making it happen in Noonan, I don't know the need in Noonan as much as I know the need in Peachtree City area. And where you're going into Peachtree City may not accommodate that without like taking over the entire space where no one can come
Right.
in, right? And that's not ideal either. But I do agree that there is a need for that type of space.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the pricing model on that would have to be to make it feasible.
Right, right.
Because
Like,
most
for
of the
me,
organization-
Yeah, I want
Right.
to know what you think.
See, I think,
So we had bachelorette parties, more
okay,
showers,
yeah.
and
Which then you're coming in with the mindset of there's an event space price.
Right.
So I kind
Right.
of get that, you know what I mean?
so I would love to know how many people you have, and whether you think a combination of hot, cold coffee, a prefix type of menu,
Yeah.
or is there a price where it's like you can get anybody there, get anything? Toss,
Interesting.
So I literally,
Yeah.
I don't have a particular dog in the fight as to how
Yeah.
to do it, I would just love to cater to what people want
Gotcha.
at the beginning, to be honest with you. Just meld the package, if you will, put that together
Yeah.
into the picture, so that'd be great.
Okay. Let me stew on that.
No, 100%.
Yeah, because I was asking just kind of see if you, like, what you specifically had or what you were specifically offering, but to that question, I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
let me think more about how that would work for me, just specifically
Yes.
as a small business owner.
Right.
I'm a one person
No, you're
owner,
ready to- Yeah, build your own,
yeah,
build your event, yeah.
kind of thing, yes.
And that's so far it's been per person who came to request. So
Got
the
you.
one was
That's why it's.
my best friend was having
Yeah.
a baby.
So.
So
Baby shower.
yeah,
Makes
that's
sense.
a, yeah.
And then the point that Jason made about, like, something that I'm thinking, I wouldn't want to shut down your whole establishment.
Right.
No,
You know
at
what
their
I mean?
house, right, at their
Yeah,
house, you
or
want a
even
place
just-
to your space,
Well,
for
maybe,
yourself.
or even in the morning where I'm like, can we just have a corner?
Yeah.
Kind of thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm
Yes.
just bringing in,
Yes, that's.
Can't
possible.
and I'm like, we just have a corner.
100%. Yeah.
See,
There's
we
plenty of
just
space.
It's not that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When
that's
you,
what we're
it's
doing.
narrow but long, so
Okay.
it's kind of divided. The whole coffee bar is in the center of the space.
Okay.
And in the way back corner by the bathroom, there's a very small kids area. So moms want to come and hang out on the couch by the fireplace. The kids can sit and play.
Especially
Yes.
for me, when I'm talking about having a meeting like this in the morning, and I'm like, you can actually bring your kids, and they
Yes.
can have a place to play.
Yep.
Like, your environment would be ideal, you know?
Yeah.
So interesting, yeah, let me think about
Well,
that
no,
more.
right, your bet's on me.
Yeah.
That's what.
Yeah.
That's a great marketing position because a lot of people are, working remotely. and
Right.
have Kids.
And
And need a
entrepreneurs.
place. I've always said that, to have a place and, having young kids. We didn't have that when my kids were little, but a place where the kids can be, you can have meetings.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I shift gears just for a minute, just because I don't want to run out of time?
Oh.
The question I had was, I love with your presentation, you have a lot of business, obviously, a lot of business acumen with this, your competition, you've got great branding, I love Percolate, it's a great word. The huge question I have is kind of along the lines of like, what I do feel is lacking in this presentation is this kind of like identification of how your culture differentiates from like the local competition. And especially when you're talking about, expanding to 10 different locations, I feel that coffee shop culture is really going to be that defining factor about like how it's received. And then, getting people who are like, hey, I love this coffee shop. I'll seek it out, I'll find it.
Mhm.
And, even when you did your presentation, like, I didn't see like any pictures of the space, any talks about like, what, because when I think about like Leaf and Bean, they've got like a cool like lounge area like, kind of like around the brick walls kinds of gives it that feel. When I think about like Bloom Organics in Peachtree City, they have a boutique retail store. And when I think about like Snowy Coffee Shop, they're going the route of this like the other stores that are inside the coffee shop, so you can get
Right, the
your
mess
food and
hall.
your ice cream. So they're all defining their culture about what that coffee shop really is.
Mhm.
So that way, if it did expand, I feel like it would have kind of like that basis of what defines them. So I just wanted to kind of, as an open-ended question, if you have an answer or if it's something to think about, what is the culture? Is it, and especially in terms of like, you have kind of like the second part to that, to this, whatever you want to call it, is like as someone who goes to coffee shops, as someone who does work there, are you going after the people who are just looking for like the $6 lattes, or are you creating an experience for people who just want to come out and read a book? Are you creating an experience where business people have a table and fast internet where they can do work? So my question to you is, what is the culture that defines you?
Yeah, so we pride ourselves on having, we cater to all local businesses. So everything that we use can be found locally. And we try to team up and partner with other local businesses, especially other women-owned businesses, as often as we can, being two women owning this business. So like our coffee is all from Helen. It's small batch roasted to our specifications and sent to us same day. So we're getting the freshest batch we can get. Our tea is a woman-owned business in Macon. And everything that we source is, regardless of the cost implications, we're sourcing the best products, the top quality products that we can get to provide our customers with a better experience with their drink. And we have a vast array of options. So because we have different customers that come in that are, gluten-free or dairy-free or vegan, different dietary restrictions. So, we focus on being able to offer everything that the customer might need and being able to build a drink based on what you like. So we've been trying to create the culture of, instead of somebody just coming up and saying, like, looking at a menu and choosing, they get to build literally every piece of their drink. So they can come in and say, I only like non-dairy milks, but I see you have hundreds of different flavors. We open up a conversation with our customers to really get to understand what they like and ask them after the fact, did you like that? What did you like about it? What don't you like about it? How can we change it for the next time? And that's why we get people that come back and come back and come back, because they can really come in and have a good conversation with all of our baristas and see how knowledgeable they are in the product that we have. Even with the vast menu that we do have, they're very knowledgeable about every little thing. And, people come into a coffee shop and they're like, well, what's the best drink? Well, my best drink
Not
is
mine.
going to be different from your best drink. It's way different
Way-
from his
way
best
different from
drink.
his best drink.
See, what I would argue though is that's more of a business model. When we're talking about culture, that really comes down to like, how do you want people to feel when they come into a coffee shop? And again, this could be an open-ended thing, and it's something that I would love for you to just reflect on as you move forward with your business. Because my wife and I, we work in business together. We're husband and wife team.
Mhm.
Like, I always say like, I'm kind of function, she's form, and she's really helped me identify that, the form side of things. I just want things to run well and be efficient, but she's really brought attention for the need for these other intangibles.
Yeah.
And so I just, you feel very business minded, you feel very business savvy. So my recommendation to you would just be trying to reach out and answer this question of how do you want people to feel when they're in the
Yeah.
coffee shop? Because that's
So that might have been at the beginning of the slides. We had in our mission statement, it talks about how we want people to feel like they can come in as a group or an individual and sit down for a long time, feel very comfortable, feel like they're at home. That's why we have a lounge space with the couch and the
Did you show
fireplace
that?
too. Yes, it was at the very beginning.
I didn't notice it either.
So just a space where people can feel comfortable. They feel comfortable enough to bring their kids and sit for a couple of hours, or they feel comfortable enough to bring a friend or a family member and sit for hours. We have a group that comes in once a month on a Friday. They are all special needs parents, and they all meet and talk. It's their, 1 or 2 hours that they get away and can talk with one another and lift each other up. And, that's one of my favorite days to be in the shop, is when that whole group comes in. They just have an energy about them. That's what we want to provide, is a comfortable space where anybody can come with as many or as few people as they want and just feel comfortable enough to do, take phone calls, do your business work. Maybe talk to the baristas, be like, hey, I'm working on this project, or talk to somebody who's sitting next to you working on something, like, hey, what are you working on? And collaborate. We have a big sticker in the front window that says great ideas start with great coffee. That's what we want to build, is people can come in and collaborate and work together and talk over a cup of coffee and build these great ideas. We have tons of business owners that come in. I have a few friends that are real estate agents that bring clients in, have meetings, and some of them they work at different agencies and sit down together and brainstorm on ways that they can collaborate together to expand their markets.
And one of my favorite words is community. And I feel like everything that you said in your mission is all about creating a sense of community. And I mean, I'm not trying to put a tagline onto Percolate, but like your community coffee shop feels like it summarizes to me a culture that is trying to be created as a place where people can come and, I mean, you said meet in like 50 different ways, right? So like, yeah, you can go there by yourself and work. I mean, I've been in uncountable number of times at this point, and I very rarely see the single entrepreneur sitting there on their computer, because
Right.
it's not a quiet environment.
Right.
Not to say that it's loud, but if you've ever heard a cup of coffee being made, steamed milk is not silent, right? So I mean, if you're not going to go there for peace and quiet, but you will absolutely go there looking to collaborate with other people, looking to meet a neighbor, looking to do a business transaction. And it's, I mean, it's a great, comfortable space. You definitely nailed that. But to John's point, I think there's a way that you can verbalize it.
Yeah.
That makes it a little bit clearer.
No, I like that a lot better too, just talking more about our sense of community, because that's really our number one priority for Tiffany and I, is to build this to a point where we can give back to our community. And that was like when the tornado hit. I mean, we were 4 months in, 3 months in, and we're like, we don't have any money to give but we became a donations page and collected items, collected donations from others, opened up our PayPal and Venmo for people to donate who didn't live in the area. And we're able to give back to families that we actually had one family who was a regular of ours and their house was completely demolished, leveled. They actually had to pull one of their kids out from the basement, and thankfully no one was harmed. But that was one thing that Tiffany knew the family members and was able to just take them what they needed where they were staying at the time. We want to be able to do more things like that. We've worked with Coweta Casa and hosted some fundraising events for them. Did the angel tree at Christmas time to have people donate presents for the children going through Casa. And that's something that we want to be able to grow into even more as well. So it's a place that has a sense of community where we can also come together to give back to the community that we serve.
And I hope you didn't feel like, what I don't want you to feel is attacked by my
Oh,
question
no, not at all.
It's really, I just feel so, because I've been to like countless coffee shops around the area, done work at countless coffee shops, and I know, I can tell you the pros and cons of every single one of them. And it really just a lot of this was just kind of to get the conversation thinking about making sure that when you start replicating or start going into offices, you have your culture established. That way the culture gets pushed to all those places. So it's very continuity, a lot of continuity between them.
Any plans to come to Alpharetta? I see this for this here.
Yeah, Stephen had messaged in the chat that he loves coffee.
Nice.
But it's Stephen, you say that, right? Like, is there any plans to go up there? But I mean, the idea is to be more on the south side of Atlanta, which,
Right.
But I think the point I was just that this idea of community, I just think wherever you go, the plan is to expand, that it's not looked at as we're opening another location, but instead it's,
Extension.
Growing.
we're coming to be a part of your community.
Yeah.
And that really drives that community center
I'll tell you,
message.
but my point is, if we can support 10 in Coweta/Fayetteville, okay? After the next 10 will be demanded.
Outside of the
Right.
yeah.
That's the whole point.
Yeah.
There's no like, we don't have to go out and get number 11. Number 11 comes to us.
Yeah, right.
And like Jonathan said, it's how they feel, right when you walk into a place, right? It's
Right.
that feeling. How do you feel?
I can tell you, there's been coffee shops that walk right out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, because I thought it was gonna be a place to come in and enjoy, but it turns out there's just like, I won't even mention the name of it, I don't think they're there anymore, but there's just like one steel table like in the middle of the room. I don't know, it's just, I would definitely invite you to invite different like business people, like people with kids, and just kind of get that feedback as well. But yeah, how you feel when you walk in, so
I mean, this is, I'm having a conversation. with business leaders talking about, I don't know if anyone's from Virgin. The minute you walk up to the agent, there's music playing. It's a cool experience from the second you walk in. It's different. And I love that.
Yeah.
It's just that little bit of music, that little bit of something that's set them apart.
Right. The one thing that I've stressed, especially since I'm not the one personally behind the bar all the time anymore, I was for a very long time. But now that we're trying to expand and grow, I'm trying to focus more of my energies behind the scenes and on the business building and growth side. So we've got a full staff in Noonan right now. And the one thing that I'm constantly reiterating with them is just making sure that each customer feels welcome. So even if you've got a line waiting to get their order placed and it's super busy, you have to take a second when somebody opens that door and welcome them in. So the second you walk in, if you don't get a, hey, how are you doing today? That's a problem. And that's going to go on the performance review. So it's that I want everyone to experience that, they walk in and immediately are welcomed by the staff, whether that's one person behind the bar or three. And whether there's nobody else in the building or there's 100.
I want to say it was somewhere in Cushing City. Like that, maybe it was a bit of both, where when you walked in, the first person said something and then the other person was louder. Hey,
That's
do you know what
funny.
I'm talking
I
about?
don't, but I can
I
imagine.
want, so it just made it fun. It was a really fun experience. So maybe the first person, hello, and the other guy's, hey, he was just a little bit louder. Just brought an energy to, again, that feeling.
That's fun. Yeah. I may not be appropriate for this, but that's really fun. And yeah. No, I mean, I love that.
No, or like, the guys, good morning, the other guy, how's your day? Just a little something.
Yeah,
a little
I like it.
extra.
Yeah.
So we are over time, but Jadia, not on Facebook, she messaged me. She's watching. She messaged me and asked, "Where do you get your coffee beans? Is it specialty? That would be a really great selling point to differentiate you from S-Bucks and Dunkin'." And then she had an idea of maybe hosting a coffee tasting session, sort of like a wine tasting coffee party, wine tasting party with coffee.
Yes,
Yeah.
we've been discussing doing like coffee tastings with, doing different flights. So you can try like any type of drip that we offer, or you can try, 4 different flavors of a latte or frappuccino or different teas. That's something that we've been discussing as either an event or just like pick a day that we're open and say, okay, this Friday, you can come in, we'll be doing tastings all day. We'll have, 6 different brews on tap.
Thanks for
and
joining us, Stephen.
Everything else. Our coffee beans for Jadia, we get everything from Helen. We work with Jumping Goat Coffee Roasters, and Charlie, the owner, worked in corporate for many, many years, decided to open a roasting facility and has traveled all over the world and gone to every call it coffee plantation or what, but he's visited all of them and met with the owners and tried everything. He spends months roasting to a certain specification. And so all of our blends that we have in the house are made specifically for Percolate.
That's great. Jadia said she did research and no other coffee shop in Atlanta that she could find does that coffee tasting. And you could totally make that into an event, like a party kind of
Right,
thing. It would be
yeah.
Really cool.
We have a few in the pipeline. We're talking about teaching like a charcuterie class too, and you can get
That's really cool.
coffee and stuff out of there.
Well, that was fantastic. Thank you
Thank
also
you.
for jumping in at the last minute
Yeah.
to do this.
Thanks for having me.
And to everyone watching on
Got one.
Facebook Live, we will see you the first Wednesday of April. It's already March. That's
Yes.
crazy. It's weird to say. See you the first Wednesday in April.
Right.